Alright guys, so there's actually a problem with this code that we've written, and you'll see what that is, right? I'm just going to play, and obviously I can pick up some fire, and as you can see I'm burning and I'm walking around, but I can actually go again and I'll pick up a little more fire. I can go again and then again and again and again, and I can just be Burning Man essentially. Look at how much fire I'm on. That's ridiculous. So how do we prevent that? How do we make sure we burn just once? How do we make sure an event happens just once rather than continuously happen? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn off that fire spawner if the entire sequence has happened already. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to create something called a variable. Right? So a variable is essentially a way for us to store something and then change its value later, or read from that value later, right, whenever we want. So I'm going to click on new variable, and I'm going to create a Boolean variable. So many different types of variable. A Boolean is basically a true or false, right? I want a true or false. I'm going to call this is burning question mark, right? So that's what I'm going to kind of create, is burning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this in, okay, and I'm going to set this is burning, right? So as soon as we spawn the emitter attached to the player, I'm going to take the execution pin along, and I'm going to set the is burning to true. So I'll say that, well, the character is already burning. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag all of this, move it a little to the right, and I'm going to first check before anything even starts whether it's burning. So I'm going to type branch, and branch is basically an if statement, right? It is check if something is true or false. So I'm going to check branch, okay, and the condition, instead of this time setting, I'm going to get it, so which is, let's see what this is burning value is, and drag this in. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm going to do, and let me just show you what happens. So nothing happens. I think I've made a mistake. If is burning is false, yes, we need to check if it's false. We don't need it. It shouldn't run if it's true. It should run if it's false. My bad. Sorry. So as you can see, I'm burning, but I won't burn anymore. It's just a one-time burn, and that's it. Right? It's not like I'm going to pick up additional damage. So it's just, I don't become Burning Man. I become Lukewarm Man or something. So what's happening here exactly? Right? I created a new variable, and anybody can create a variable. Just press this button and basically make a new variable, and this is a Boolean variable. So in the very beginning, right, which is any time the actor begins overlap, I'm checking if this value of is burning is true or false. If it's false, and obviously the first time we come in, it's going to be false, because by default this is false. So if I click here and I see the default value, I'm just going to save this. You'll see that the default value is false. It's not checked exactly, right? So obviously it's going to be false, so it's going to go through this execution line. It's never going to go through the true. It's going to go through this execution line, and it's going to spawn the emitter attached, right? But once this emitter attached is spawned, then I want to set is burning to true. So I'm setting this is burning to true checkbox, and that way your actor or your event begin overlap will not trigger this execution line from now onwards. In fact, I can print a string here and say already burned, and this looks like a horror movie now, right? So you can see what happens now. Overlap happened, I'm burning, and if I go again, it says already burned. Right? So that's how cool variables are. That's how you do simple if-else conditions. You use the branch execution pin, and obviously after something happens, you set the value to be true. So this is a pattern you will be using a lot, and obviously there's smarter ways to do this pattern in the future, but this is just as good. It's just as viable. You don't have to worry about it. If this works for you, continue using it forever. All right, so that's about it for this episode. I know this is a quick one just to show you the value of variables and to make sure we don't continue to burn again and again. Bye-bye.